Hey there. My name is Tony Weaver Jr., and I'm the founder of an organization called Weird Enough Productions. We're a comic company using diverse comics to change the narrative around what it means to be a hero. We take all of our comics and partner them with curricula around literacy and social-emotional learning for middle schools and high schools around the country. What that is a fancy way of saying that I use comics to create heroes both inside and outside of the classroom. Now, normally, when people find out that I started and run a comic book company, they go, oh, I get the cape now. It makes sense. I see you got the cape. I get it. But what I am here to tell you is that I've been wearing this cape long before I started a company. If I had a PowerPoint slide right now, what you would see is a picture of me at 4 years old in a Batman outfit with full cape and cowl. When I turned 5 years old, my dad bought me a Robin outfit for Halloween, and 1 week later he said, TJ, get ready, come on, we're about to go to the mall. And I came downstairs with my Robin costume on, and I remember my father saying to himself, what have I done? See, I've always found solace in the idea of heroes. An ordinary person with the ability to create extraordinary change. I loved heroes so much growing up. I was really into Batman. I would turn my hat backwards like Ash from Pokemon. And to this day, whenever I'm about to do something important, my friends and I still refer to it as going Super Saiyan. Because I'm a nerd. That's just who I am, right? Now, the thing is, when you're 4 years old and you're really into stuff like this, it's kind of cute. It's nice, right? But when you're 14 years old and you're really into stuff like this, it's kind of weird. It's how people look at you. When I got to middle school, as much as I wanted to be heroic and cool, instead, I was the weird kid. I didn't want to be weird. I wanted to be strong, like Batman. But instead, I got bullied all the time. I wanted to be smart, like Robin. But when I'd submit my papers to my teachers, instead of getting a grade, I would get notes back that said, hey, did you write this? Plagiarism is wrong. Talk to me after class. As much as I wanted to be powerful, like the heroes that I looked up to, instead I felt powerless. And at 14 years old, I attempted to end my own life because I didn't feel like who I was as a person had value. I felt like there was a hero inside of me, but nobody else around me was validating it. And it made me doubt my own ability to create change in my community. In that time, it wasn't my parents or my friends or my teachers that brought me out of that dark place. It was media. Do we have any Naruto fans in the audience? Anybody? Yes. Okay. Hidden Leaf represent. I'm with you. So for those of you that are uninformed, Naruto is this amazing show about the title character, Naruto, who wants to be the world's greatest ninja. So in this world, there are people that have all of these amazing powers and abilities that they can use. And when I watched Naruto, there was a character that I identified with named Rock Lee, who, in this world full of people that could summon giant animals, breathe fire, and control the elements, Rock Lee had no powers of his own. He had no powers at all. The only thing that he could do was to train to make himself physically stronger. Watching his journey of saying, instead of comparing myself to my peers, I'm going to focus on what I can do and be the best at that thing, brought me out of a dark time when I didn't feel like my existence was one that had value. Media is that powerful. I'm sure that for all of us, we can think of a certain piece of media, whether it is a show or a movie or an album, where we can separate our life from the moment before we found this thing to the moment after we found this thing. When I came out of that dark place, I thought that it was just a me issue. Tony had a problem and Tony got over his problem. But when I got to school, I realized that the issue went a lot deeper. As a part of one of my classes in my freshman year, I volunteered at an elementary school where I mentored an African-American fourth grader named Nazir. Now, I was meant to be a tutor for Nazir. I was supposed to be a friendly face he could talk to that wasn't a teacher about anything curriculum related. But instead, every week, he only wanted to talk to me about cartoons. He only wanted to talk to me about superheroes. And he knew when he asked me about his favorite shows, if I had opinions on it, that he was going to get something back because he knew I'd seen it. He knew I had opinions on these things. Halloween was coming up, and when I asked him if he would be dressing as his favorite superhero, he told me, I want to, but I can't because I don't look like him. I'm going to dress as CJ from Grand Theft Auto. Because in the fourth grade, when he had to think about who can I be, the first character that came to mind was the main character of a video game where you kill people, steal things, and run away from police. When he had to think about what can I become, the first thing that came to his mind was a video game that is literally named after a felony. Now, it was at that time I realized that the problem that I dealt with wasn't an individual problem. It was an institutional problem. That there are young people around the country from various backgrounds that recognize that there is a hero inside of them, but don't feel like they can be that. And it was at that point in time that I had a very interesting idea. What if we were able to use media to help everyone understand the hero inside of themselves? I did some research, and what I found was a little bit scary. The average American engages with media content about 10.5 hours a day. 99% of American households have at least one television, and 95% of Americans use their smartphone to watch media content. Now, in the face of media misrepresentation, that can be a really scary number. But I looked at it, and I saw it as an opportunity. What if we can use the same infrastructure that historically has been used to disenfranchise and disencourage people and turn it into a weapon of mass empowerment? Because all of us know what happens when media is used for evil, but something really powerful happens when media is used for good. We saw it in 2016 when Lin-Manuel Miranda said, "I am not throwing away my shot." And Hamilton created a wave of diversity that spread across the theater community. We saw it in February of last year when black people around the world were able to unite around the phrase, "Wakanda forever." We saw it this year when people that have not been on a horse in their life have now decided that they're going to take their horse down to the Old Town Road, right? Media has the ability to impact people's identity. It has the ability to impact the way that they see themselves. And if we're able to leverage that system for something positive, we can create change the likes of which the world has never seen. I don't think I need to tell anybody that the world today is full of problems. It's full of issues that need to be solved. However, I think that the heroes necessary for that are already here. I don't think the cavalry is coming. I think they're sitting in our presence right now. In our schools, in our schools, in our community centers, the young people that we need to change the world are already here. We just need them to put on their capes. Whether that's a real cape, like mine, or a sketchbook, a poem, a college degree, a trade school. If we can empower young people around the country to recognize the hero that's inside of them, the world's greatest problems won't stand a chance. Because ultimately, what makes you weird is what makes you powerful. Thank you.